So, I went to go see Paper Towns. It's based on the John Green novel, and it's directed by Jake Schreier. He also brought us Robot and Frank. Neat little movie. And it stars Nat Wolff, Austin Abrams, Justice Smith, Halston Sage, Jazz Sinclair, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but Cara Delevingne-ish? So it's a teen coming-of-age road trip movie. Quentin's in love with the girl Margot across the street. He has been for years. They used to be friends, but they haven't talked in quite some time. So now, at the end of his senior year, she shows up outside his window one night and drags him on a night of adventure where she's getting revenge on her ex-boyfriend, right? And then she disappears. So he decides to track her down and confess his love. He gets his friends together, they figure out where she's gone, and adventure awaits. Never been done before, has it, really? It's just completely original. Completely. But see, here's the thing. I'm not really sure that the coming-of-age story really needs to be all that original. The reason it's been done time and time again over the years, for either better or worse, is because it doesn't have to appeal to everyone, it just has to appeal to the current generation of viewers. And I think this film does that pretty handily, to be honest. I mean, John Green is a good storyteller. He's not necessarily the most deep storyteller in the world, and a lot of his things are kind of just skin deep, but he's entertaining, he makes fun characters, he has a nice grasp on comedy and humor, and just they're fun books. They make for fun movies. A little bit sad occasionally, but still, they're good stories. And while the characters aren't the most original in the world, they are used to fairly good effect, and they raise some nice issues. There's a manic pixie dream girl introduced with the sole intent of subverting the archetype. There's the attractive female popular girl who's introduced, and her whole point in the film is that, hey, she's actually not any of the stereotypes. She's not shallow, she's really dedicated to her friends, and she's kind of nerdy and fun, so there's that. It's trying to raise some interesting points, and if we can get these points out there and talked about and introduced to society, then that's a good thing, especially if you can do it in the framework of a relatively fun, light film, which this movie is. Yeah, the big sticking point to this movie is really the lack of originality, and as I said, this sort of film doesn't really need to be that original. It just needs to be shot in a way and told in a way that appeals to the current generation, and that's gonna change and differ slightly from generation to generation. So you can have a couple of these movies per decade, right? And they can sort of rehash the same plot points because it really is, all about dealing with growing up and moving on and making new friends and moving from one point in your life to the next point in your life, and learning how to take risks and sort of just growing up. And it's been done before, done better before. I'm sure it'll be done better in the future. But this right here, it's a fun, good movie, and there's really not much of any reason to not watch it, unless you just can't deal with the lack of originality bit. If you're a fan of John Green's works, from what I gather, this is actually a pretty in the spirit of the original adaptation, so you might enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, this is a fun, entertaining movie. Not the best movie ever, but I enjoyed it. Anywho, until next time, folks. Enjoy film.